Welcome to the Hamumu Halloween Home Horror Hoedown, the podcast where we watch scary movies so you don't have to.
From award-winning to completely unknown, we take them all way too seriously.
I'm your host, Mike Hummel.
And I'm your host, Solange Hummel.
Now, warning, we use a ghoulish number of spoilers, so watch the movies first.
Second warning, we don't know anything about anything, so don't take us seriously as we take these movies seriously.
We're having a hard time doing the movies, I think.
I think so too. I think for me, the challenge is that I'm kind of tired of watching terrible movies.
Oh.
I mean, not forever. It's just that we've had a string of terrible movies. And then when it comes to choosing the movie, I always lean toward terrible because
it's easier.
Yeah, it's easy. I don't have to come up with how this is an allegory for the world and what all the symbolism is and whatever. It's just nonsense. But these days, it seems like not only can I not handle thoughtful stuff because it's too heavy, but then the nonsense comes on and I'm just like,
Your brain is adrift, is what it sounds like to me.
Yes. Yes, that is true.
Can I ask you something, Soli?
Absolutely.
If you think back over our history of scary, scary movies that we've watched, what to you stands out as just a memorable moment from any one of those movies? Just the one that just comes to mind right away.
A moment, not a movie.
Yeah, a scene. It's just something that was like it's in your head, rent-free, or it's trapped in there with chains.
That's a hard question to answer because
your brain is adrift?
Yes. Because it's like, there's flickers of things, right? There's like a moment of people running down the train and Train to Busan.
There you go.
There's
that's a moment.
There's a scene when they're in the catacombs. What movie was that? Where they go into the catacombs, like the underworld somehow?
As above, so below.
Really?
I mean, it might not be the one you're talking about, but that's the Paris catacombs.
Yeah, that's probably it. Like when they get down there and they see the catacombs and like the skulls lining the wall.
So
like,
many skulls.
I think often it's like a visual thing. I'm like trying to just see what percolates up in my head when I just like think about it. I can see bits of the set from that zombie movie that was all one shot.
One Cut of the Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like bits of that set and how like they used that set to transition from scene to scene since they couldn't cut.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am suddenly remembering how like the pitch black and then like the pinpoint of light in the movie that was all darkness and was just flashlights, and you were so mad at how dark it was.
That sounds like a lot of movies.
No, it was one we watched within like the last year or so. It was out in the desert.
Oh
my gosh. The guy was going crazy. There was maybe a time loop in it. And you were so mad because it was just black all the time.
I was. 1 second. Yeah, I don't know what that one was called. But yes, that they were in the desert. They were going crazy. There was noise. And it was just a black screen except for the flashlight.
Mm-hmm. So it seems to me that, at least in this exact moment, when you ask that question, the things that spring to mind are things that had like some kind of memorable visual component to them.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like special visuals. I like really, interesting effects. So we saw this movie recently called The Painted from 2024.
Oh, wait, this is about a movie? This rambling?
It just became about it.
Okay.
Because in this movie, there's magic paint that goes on canvases by itself and paints pictures.
In the dumbest way possible. There are so many ways they could have done that, and they did it in the stupidest way they could have possibly chosen.
There goes what I had to say.
Sorry. What were you going to say?
It's kind of interesting because they paint... Basically, what they could have done was let the paint run down the canvas and then turn the picture upside down and we'd see it run up the canvas. Instead, they did CGI, so it ran up the canvas as if it was just pouring down the canvas, except it also did like little bits of it would like flip and like grab on, and weird little bits.
You know what it made me think of? You know how we often point out intros to shows, often on like HBO
It looked like
or
an
whatever,
intro to a show.
where they're like, it's all CGI and they're like way getting in close to things. And I think like Westworld, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of what other ones.
TV.
Yes, there are these like super long intros to shows that have dramatic CGI stuff that's just like unfolding and unfurling and, you know, all of that. And it's always the same like weird music playing in the background. It made me think of that. I did, as much as I just made it sound like those intros are stupid, and they are because they take 70,000 years to
terrible.
get through.
They look good. They're just, why do I have to watch them?
In this movie, I did enjoy that. I don't want to say that it gave me like an ASMR tickle, but like visually it was a little like, it was tenderly.
It was. That was the thing, is after it flooded up the painting, it was like all one color at that point, so that was not a good painting. So then it would like, I don't know, like flip little fingers all over itself and kind of sizzle and bubble, and
Yeah.
that was a cool effect that was very strange. We saw it way more times than we needed to. They could have
Yes.
done it once.
Here's why I think it was the dumbest possible thing. Because when the quote unquote paint, when like the fake paint like crawled up the painting, there was no painting there. Like it wasn't doing anything until much later. Like they couldn't quite handle color and shape at the same time. And so they were like doing the dramatic, like we're covering the canvas with paint
But it's all
texture,
just one
but
color.
it's all one color. And then we can add color in and like do all these other funny details. And it was annoying because I'm like, there's nothing even remotely realistic about this. Like, you know what I wanted it to be? I wanted it to be that the painting, like they had done the CGI even, it doesn't have to be real, but they had done a CGI of like starting from a painting and like melting the paint all down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then reverse that so that when it unfolds, it's like
get a painting.
unfolding the painting. I don't know. Maybe I'm just...
Okay, that was an element of this movie, is that apparently to do this ritual, you had to have a bunch of different little cups of paint in different colors. There was no rule. There was no rule about which colors you had to have, because at the end of the movie, when they're doing it themselves, they have like 3 pastel colors. And so it's kind of funny that that's just how it is. And it doesn't matter. The paint just goes on the canvas and becomes black. It's always black at first, and then goes into other colors.
It was weird.
It just got me thinking about the logistics of this ritual, and you'd be like, well, I've only got green paint, so that's what I'm going to use. And be like, it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Makes you wonder, like, does the spell get more powerful the more shades you have there? And like, what were the choices? Why were they making the choices they were making? Also, I have another problem with part of this ritual.
Proceed.
It appears, from the way we saw this ritual done every single time it was done, that the last step of the ritual is fling fire at the painting from as far away as possible.
Don't get close. I mean, it's a safety issue.
It's insane. And the, like, long drawn-out shot watching a match flicker across the screen, flipping end to end. I'm like, you can't even get a match to stay lit in your hand, much less throwing it across the room.
I liked that the issue wasn't that he missed. The issue was that the butt end of the match hit the painting, and so it just fell off.
Because one thing you know about paint is that it definitely does not give off any kind of flammable fumes that might have been collected along the edge of, the front of that canvas.
Speaking of said fumes, at the end of the movie, and this is all very, people know what we're talking about, clearly. We all know the Painted. They throw fire at the painting again to try to kill it. And this time, even though every painting in the movie that's been set on fire burns like a real-life painting, it just burns away.
Yeah.
This one, only the girl burns out of the painting, and the rest of the painting is totally fine. Mm-hmm. And that is never explained. That's just how it is.
I mean, I think it had something to do with the fact that it was the husband of this family that shows up at this house that they've inherited from the wife's like crazy family. I don't know. Truth be told, dear listeners, I
Not
really
the
wasn't
first
paying attention.
time.
So I think it was because he had sacrificed himself to be in that painting so that, why? So he could like somehow trap
Because
the succubus in there?
here's the story of this film. I guess we should tell them. Well, here's the history of the film. There's a guy whose girlfriend or wife or something was dying, and she's like, put me in a painting, because that's something his family did, was
Right, they
put
had this
people into
ritual
paintings.
because it made them eternal.
Yeah, eternally in a painting. And he's like, cool, I'm
I'd like
gonna
to
do
point
that.
out, no one else seemed to have a problem with. All the other all the other people who got turned into painteds
oh, yeah.
were fine with their individual portrait. They're trapped in their painting forever. They never get to die. Apparently that's just fine
Sometimes
until
they get
this
out.
one lady.
He puts her in the painting, and they had an agreement that he would then kill himself and be in a painting with her. And so they'd be together in the painting.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Getting into the painting requires an elaborate ritual with paint and candles and chanting and throwing of matches.
I think you're not supposed to do that. I think that's how you get rid of the person in the painting.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's step 2.
Yeah.
That's when you realize it's a problem.
Which happened every single time someone did this ritual in the movie.
Yeah.
But elaborate ritual to become one of the painted. How was he supposed to join her?
Well, his manservant Rory was going to do it. That's subtext.
You made that character up, right?
Yeah, but it's a subtext character. It was
I see.
implied.
So
by
there
the
was
movie.
someone who was going to do the ritual for him.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they were a big, powerful family. They could get it done.
Doesn't matter. She dies. He puts her in the painting, and then he's like, you know what? I'd like to have 50 to 60 more years here on Earth.
Yeah.
He goes, marry someone else. All
And-
that. All the whole 9 yards.
Well, like usual, that made the woman in the painting transform into a succubus, which means she took her top off. And her hands
all of her
became
clothes.
claws.
Like dinosaur claws.
Yeah.
It looked like she was, like, the painting itself looked like it was wearing dinosaur claw gloves.
Yeah. Which was strange, but apparently that's the definition of succubus. And so she became a succubus.
Naked and clawing.
And so the issue then is that she's cursed this family. Mm-hmm. She possesses the men of the family to kill the women of the family. Mm-hmm. And that's been going on. And now it's affecting these people because they're related in some cousin-y way.
Yeah, because the owner of the house and all of the paintings and all of the everything died. And this woman of the family that we're following in the movie is the person who inherited it.
Yeah. So now we have the problem where she's possessing their male members of the family to kill the female members of the family. And so to make her not be a succubus anymore, the husband is going to go into the painting with her so that she's got somebody in the painting with her, which resolves the issue that she didn't have one in the first place. But really,
because
is
apparently
he that
just
great?
any guy will do.
I don't know if it would. Apparently it wouldn't because it failed.
Yeah, it did not work. Yeah. It was all a little shaky.
It was very shaky as far as that goes.
And so when the family gets here, first the succubus tries to get the husband to kill the wife, right?
I guess.
But he doesn't want to, and like he's resisting, and they do a bunch of stuff, and there's a lot of running around and people leaving and coming back and drama. And then
You don't want drama in a movie.
I don't want drama in a movie. And then because she can't get control of the husband and the wife, she takes control of their oldest son, who's like in his 20s, and their youngest daughter, who's like 8.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, she doesn't take control of the daughter. She sends the son after the daughter.
Right. She tries to kill the daughter with the oldest son. So it doesn't, it doesn't matter what role you play.
There's a moment in the scene where he's chasing her and he's got this makeup on to make him like gray in the face. Mm-hmm. And it goes into slow-mo and the noise is like, "Rrrr," and he's stomping the cardboard box fort they built in the basement. And I swear it's an homage to the Incredible Hulk, the original one from the 60s. Or
Really?
70s. It's so exact. Like his eyes are glowing and his face it's gray instead of green, but it looks like, Lou Ferrigno.
It was pretty ridiculous. I thought you were going to say it was an homage to that episode of Community where they built a giant blanket fort.
The fort absolutely was an homage to Community, whether they meant it or not.
From the outside, there's only so much you can do to create a fort out of cardboard boxes, like realistically. So from the outside, you can see there's like, it's big, but there's like 4 or 5 large boxes, right? When you're inside, they are like running around up and down and back and forth. And like, it's like miles of cardboard box maze in there. And then it'll flip back out to him stomping on it. You're like, oh, there's 3 boxes.
Yeah.
And then she's inside and she's like scrambling forever. And then, oh, nope, still 3 boxes and 2 of them have been crushed. So where is she going?
And then
it was weird.
The last box and he got her. She lived though. It's okay.
Yeah, she lived. Everybody lived, in fact, except the dad who sacrificed himself
to go into a painting.
To go into the painting. And do you feel, my question for you, because at the beginning of the movie, this dad was not a good guy. He was terrible.
I have thoughts about this.
Do you think that the decisions he made at the end redeemed any of his behavior at the beginning of the movie?
I think they follow a consistent arc, which is, we have to acknowledge that the succubus lady is topless. And that's not just an irrelevant detail in this movie.
Wait, she's not just topless. She has no clothes on. She went from dressed like a Victorian girl to being completely naked, and you see lots of boobs, and she's standing strategically so you don't see anything else. Yeah. But she is naked.
And has
claws.
Dinosaur feet.
Yes.
Which you only see in the one scene where she comes after him in the attic. So, it's an important note because it's also well established that this dad has an obsession with boobs.
Right. He has porn. He gets caught with porn.
And it's very boobocentric porn also.
And holy cow, does everyone lose their mind?
Yeah.
Wow.
But they set it up that he's making this big sacrifice at the end of the movie.
Oh, I see where you're going.
But it is absolutely not the case.
He's like, oh, wait, if we do this ritual, I don't have to hang out with the family that annoys the crap out of me, and I get to go hang out in the painting with the naked booby lady?
Uh-huh.
Done.
Through the movie, there's 3 or 4 times where he goes, I have something I have to tell you. And then somehow gets out of actually saying it until the final time where he reveals that he had sex with the booby lady from the painting in the attic.
Right. When she came out of the painting.
Yeah.
To hunt him down.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And apparently she didn't possess him at that time. They were just like, hey, let's just do a little thing.
Wait. So he told his wife this, and she still was like, thank you so much for making this ultimate sacrifice for the family?
I'm pretty sure when he finally said it was while he was stabbing himself. So she didn't really have much choice at that point. But yeah, pretty much. The movie makes it out to be like he made a sacrifice. But the real implication from everything they showed is that he was like, I know how I can swing this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes the fact that the end scene is them like sobbing over his body just ridiculous.
Yeah. It's so weird. And it made it feel like an anti-porn movie. Like,
very much.
This guy was, demented in the brain because he had looked at women on paper.
Uh-huh.
Because it was set in the 60s, so that's what porn looked like back then. It was on paper.
Oh, all of our young viewers who have no idea what that means.
Yeah. They're used to looking at canvas paintings of women.
No, that would be our old viewers.
Oh, yeah.
The viewers our age would be used to having to wait for their dial-up to download an entire picture.
Which is totally like the movie where it goes zzz down it went up the painting, but it goes down the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I think I don't know what they intended to be showing there, but I got a huge vibe that he was like, I'm getting away with this.
That's funny. I missed that entirely, but I was not paying enough attention to really pull all the threads of things. Like, I was noticing scenes and things. I definitely was missing things. So I did pick up on the falling on the fainting couch reaction to someone having pictures of naked people, though.
Yes, it was pretty intense.
It was pretty dramatic.
How dare he?
How dare he? I mean, I would have been much more upset about the fact that he was very yelly and aggressive.
Yeah, he was not good at all. He was quite bad. But he sort of redeemed himself, but secretly it wasn't a redeeming.
That actually makes more sense. I was baffled by how he got to be the good guy at the end. I liked the movie better, thinking he's not a good guy at all. He just figured out how to work the system and make his family think he was the good guy.
Because even at one point in the movie, he and his wife are in bed, and he like rolls over and he's going for a little smooch, and she's like, oh, not tonight. And he's like, ugh, and wanders off to go visit his secret box. And it's like, you know, this woman won't give him what he needs, so he needs to find the woman in the painting.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then the twist ending, they think it's all okay that he's in the painting with her, but no, the son is still possessed. So the mom is fighting with the son. The daughter comes in and grabs the lighter and tosses it at the painting, as you do. And that's, as I mentioned before, when it burns up just the woman in the painting. So, he's now alone in a painting.
Okay, that actually, again, it means a lot more. It makes more sense. It makes it a better movie that he thought he was getting away with something, and now he's stuck in a painting by himself forever, which just means he's going to haunt everybody, though.
Yeah, but it felt very weird because it was kind of presented, as far as I could tell, like he was being heroic and making a sacrifice. But it was kind of vague and weird about it. So I don't know. I don't know what they intended.
Weird.
I do want to say that she was not the only painting ghost. And you said they stay in the paintings forever. They don't. The little kid in the painting would go and come out of the painting and go play hide and seek.
Oh, yeah. And then there's the guy who cut people's hair at night.
Yes, the guy who secretly gave people nice haircuts, which was traumatic. I mean,
the middle daughter was so mad that her hair got cut.
I understand.
Well,
it's upsetting.
Especially since there's no reason for her to think a ghost did it. So she thought her little sister did it, and she was mad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So he's going to get to... Now he's just getting away with stuff again. Now he just gets to live forever.
The barber?
No, the husband.
Oh, yeah. But he's in the basement with all the other paintings in the bookshop. The mysterious bookshop that apparently is really centered around this one book about the painted.
Well, I mean, if you had a book that allowed you to do actual magic, you'd probably center a lot of things around that
Probably
too.
Wouldn't be giving the book out, which apparently happened. I don't know what.
Oh, wait, it got rent. What?
They had the book. It had a stamp in it, which led her to go to this place, the bookstore that sold it.
Oh.
So maybe that's all it is. It's just stocked with copies of this book. It's like, hey, anybody want a book on how to paint people into dead people?
I feel like more people would have known about this then.
Well, it was a little secretive shop, so yeah.
Well, as I already admitted, I did not pay very close attention to this movie. I blame that partly on the movie, but mostly on myself. So please take my rating with several grains of salt. But I don't think this movie held up. I don't think...
Since last year.
Okay, that's not what I meant. I don't think this movie holds together in a way that makes sense. I think that the plot is all wibbledy-wobbledy, and I wasn't impressed by much of anything in the movie. I mean, none of it was like horrific, terrible, blah. There was no whatever girl in this movie.
That would have been great.
But there was also nobody like standing out in my mind. I felt like I don't like CGI special effects. I don't like them.
They are much less.
They give me the willies, and more so now that AI is so prevalent all the time. Like there's a plasticky nature to CGI stuff.
I know.
That is what I notice about AI stuff. And because I dislike AI so much now, CGI is getting the same, eliciting the same response from me. Like I see that like uncanny valley, plastic, not quite real nature of the image, and I'm just like, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate for this movie, because I do think that the CGI was better done than a lot of CGI or a lot of like fake, those kinds of special effects. When people aren't doing real special effects and they rely on digital stuff, it's often terrible. And this wasn't terrible. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
So I am going to give the painted 2.5 stick figure sun paintings, and that's SUN, sun,
Okay.
out of 5.
Eh.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either.
I have a sort of similar feeling. The writing in this movie wasn't bad on like a moment to moment level. Like the people said reasonable lines and whatever, and all that was okay. But on the macro level, the story as a whole, like this movie was these two people, the mom and the dad, figured out this ritual, and they were like telling each other each step of the ritual. And it was just weirdly, I don't know, oversimplified. It was goofy.
Can I interrupt your review for one moment?
No, I'm going to finish it right now. 92 out of 3. I didn't have enough time to really think that through.
That's a really big score.
Yeah.
No, I just want to say what you said made me think about the fact that every time I watch a movie that has a ritual, especially a ritual that involves any kind of
Painting.
any kind of like Latin or like some kind of complex language, right?
Yeah.
Every single time I get pulled out of the movie because my brain goes, how did they practice that?
Yeah.
If you practice the ritual,
Are you doing
are you doing the ritual? Are you doing the ritual badly? Because that's a no-no.
Yeah, it's not
How
great.
do you get it right the first time without having your soul eaten multiple times by the demons you failed to contain?
Well,
Every time.
Yeah, I think about that not for the people learning it, but for the people who first invented it. Like, if this sequence of words or whatever summons a demon, but if you do it slightly wrong, you're eaten alive. Whoever
Who's
figured out the
learning from
right
that?
set of words?
I mean, I guess it requires a very specific and very intentional record keeping.
Yeah, like his first 600 guys died.
Yeah. And just like an ongoing, it's like the coder's log of like, here's what we fixed, here's the mistakes we found. And just like a long, super long scroll.
Yeah.
Jotting down, okay, well, that didn't work. This time I'm going to try this word in this spot.
That's the movie we should be seeing. The one about first making the ritual.
The scientific endeavor behind ritual creation. Yeah. No, I'm always baffled by like, how did they learn how to pronounce those words the right way and get them in the right order?
That's not a problem in this movie because the ritual was in English. And it was really dumb. There was something
it was really dumb
about it that...
Oh, you know what? I'm actually thinking of the other movie that you watched recently with the girls who had the demon and the gnome.
Yes. We watched Stupid Games, and we should have reviewed that. It would have been delightful.
We still could.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything about it. Well, I remember some things about it.
What I remember is that there was an elaborate ritual that had a lot of Latin, and these girls could barely put an English sentence together.
Yeah. Anyway, in this movie, the ritual, it took me out of it. The very first scene of the movie is the guy doing the ritual way back when. And he's like, I summon thee, I command thee to paint thyself. And I'm like, that just sounds so dumb. You're commanding him to paint himself?
Also, I was like, I'm pretty sure you can. It gave off Michael Scott from The Office standing up and yelling, I declare bankruptcy. Like, that's not a thing, dude. That's not how rituals work. You can't just say, tell people do what themselves. I say.
What if they're not good at painting?
I mean, I guess it is how rituals work. But you have to get it just right. Anyway, all of that was a digression from your score, which I'm assuming was not 96 out of 3 or whatever it was that you said.
No, I'm going to go different. I was under a lot of pressure when I came up with that. Yeah, it was so dumb. I don't know. The whole thing felt off in a story way, like that they didn't put enough thought into writing it, and they were just like, that'll do, that's good enough. I command thee to write thyself, movie. And this is what happened. Chat GPT.
Yep.
So I'm going to give this 2 stick figure sun paintings out of 5. SUN.
Thanks, I was going to ask.
I'm using the same scale you are. I wouldn't use a weird scale.
Yeah, that's fair. I almost gave it a 2 as well.
It's just not worth watching. It's definitely not so bad it's good, and it's just kind of blah.
Well, I do not think I gave this movie enough of my attention. I don't think that is why I didn't like it. I think I would not have enjoyed this movie either way. But maybe somebody else will like it better if they pay closer attention.
Maybe.
And if they're really trying to assess whether this guy was sacrificing himself for noble reasons or for booby reasons.
I feel pretty confident about that.
Okay. Well, that's that.
And we will be back at some point in the future with another movie, unless we don't, because the world is on fire.
Yeah. No promises. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody. All right, I forgot how to podcast.
Okay, so first we're going to tell them what we watched. Then we're going to tell them what we thought about it. No, first we're going to tell them what we watched. Then we're going to tell them some things about what happened in it. Then we're going to tell them what we thought about it.
But we're going to have clever insights along the way.
We're still us, obviously.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't be not clever if we tried.
Is it possible to be so clever that you can't be not clever?
I almost said we couldn't be not clever if we didn't try, because I wanted to get another negative in there, but I was like, I don't know what that actually does to the sentence.
Well, that's not clever, Sully.